Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm bringing on a guest that has some badass new music. I hope they take it as a compliment, but to me it's kind of like if Pink Floyd went metal. So we'll see if that's a compliment or not. I think it's a compliment. So let's welcome to the show Dani from Conjurer. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank you. I've been listening to tons of Pink Floyd today. So
there you go. See, because that was the immediate vibe I got from it, especially the way it just takes you through a journey, you know?
Yeah. I mean, The Wall especially has been a huge influence on me since I heard it 12 years ago or something like that. And it was definitely an influence on this album in terms of the songs being about the bricks in the wall that kind of shut you off from society and shit. So yeah,
absolutely. And so I love the story of the album. So I'd rather hear it in your words. Tell the listeners what Unself is all about.
Okay. So it all kind of came about from, I started a journey with an autism assessment 5 years ago, and through that journey realized I was non-binary and all this stuff. And even though it was a kind of realization of who I was and why I am how I am and all that kind of stuff, a lot of negative feelings towards it feels weird to say past life, but the first 28 years or so of my life, there was a lot of feelings about that and why things happened the way they did, why I was treated the way I was treated, why I kind of just ended up in the position I was in, really. It was very much looking back at everything that had gone on in my life, and then all the things now that we're all living through, capitalist society and stuff like that, and how all of that can affect your sense of self. Being a marginalized person, being neurodivergent, being kind of part of a world that doesn't make you feel very welcome. It can just really leave you in a horrible mindset. And all of that went into the album. It's all about kind of feeling detached from oneself, feeling a lack of a sense of self, but also a description of the word unself is to remove oneself from something. In this case, we didn't want to write an album that's all me. This is all the stuff that happened to me. It's more about reaching out and connecting to all the people that feel the same, all the people that don't feel seen, don't feel understood, that live in the margins and are constantly kind of beaten down by society and the world around them. That's the concept in a nutshell.
And you would think after thousands of years of society, we would maybe get it already.
Yeah, you'd hope.
And and that's what I love about this, because I think music is therapy for the artist and for the fan. And there's a lot of people out there, I've been saying this a lot lately because it's been happening a lot lately, that say, oh, musicians, artists, they shouldn't use their pulpit to spread their beliefs, blah blah blah. And I say, that is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. Those are exactly the people that should be, because everybody's different anyway, even as a musician. So if you have a way to express it through art, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. I really don't understand this kind of keep politics out of music. It's just like, okay, so what about like all the protest songs that have, I mean, okay, so you're going to tell Neil Young not to write Ohio? Like, well, that's a
Right.
stupid, it's ridiculous. I mean, look at Rage Against the Machine. Like,
You think of every generation. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, like the 50s, they were protesting, even though it wasn't like today. It just kind of evolved, you know, and all the way through each decade, there was music was the message.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the world around you. I mean, of course, musicians can write about whatever they want. They can write about fantastical things, Dungeons and Dragons and all that. But ultimately, like, so much music, it is that artist's reflection of the world around them and how they view the world and how they interpret the world and all that kind of stuff. So the idea that it shouldn't be allowed to comment on the political leanings of everything going on around you, I don't understand it. I think it's dumb. I mean, like, you would have no music.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, that was the purpose of punk. That was the purpose of the hippie music in the 60s. Like, it's just, and you hit it the nail right on the head. A musician, an artist should be able to write about whatever they want to write. And if you don't want to listen to it, you don't, but there's people that do. Like, so, you know, everybody has their place to express themselves.
100%.
So, did you always feel that you were on the spectrum and people told you weren't or didn't want to admit it? Not you, meaning them. Or was this like something that was like an aha moment?
So it's a strange kind of journey that I went on. Like, when I was 18, a friend of mine whose mum worked with autistic children, ADHD children and all that, he suspected that I may be on the spectrum. And one night I was driving him home and he asked me to pull over, and he mentioned that he reckons I may be on the spectrum. And I knew nothing about autism or neurodivergence, anything like that at the time. So I didn't know how to take the news. So I just kind of carried on as I was. Like, I asked friends about it. And the thing is, at the time, and unfortunately still now, people kind of see it as a disease or something that, you know, it's a terrible thing to have. So at the time, there were some friends that are like, I'm not sure that, you know, that person should say those kinds of things to you. But I'm so glad that he did, because he was the first person in my life that brought it up, that broached the subject with me. And then over the next 10 years, other people would kind of pop up, like whether I was on tour or visiting friends somewhere, or dating people, and they would ask, like, are you on the spectrum at all? And I'd be like, I don't know. And I'd recall this story to them, and they'd be like, oh, maybe it's worth getting checked out. And I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe. And just eventually it got to like maybe half a dozen people or more saying these things to me. And it got to 2020, obviously the pandemic hit, everything was on lockdown, just had a lot more time to think about this stuff. And I'd had some bad situations with friends. I felt like my relationships with people were falling apart because of how I was, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. So yeah, I just started researching, looking into everything, and everything made sense. Everything started falling into place. All the puzzle pieces were coming together. And yeah, it was a trip. It was a real trip to kind of realize, oh my God, like this answers everything. And it completely flipped my world upside down, like mostly for the better. Like, I was so relieved to finally understand myself and realize, you know, oh, so that happened because of this, and I'm like this because of that. Like, you know, it was kind of like a Pepe Sylvia moment, like all the bits of string like tying together. So yeah, it was more of an aha moment, and yeah, it changed everything, and I can't express how big of a deal that was for me, to the point where realizing I was non-binary, that was just kind of a bonus. That was just kind of like, oh, there's a word for this kind of gender issue that I'm feeling right now. Okay, cool, there we go. But yeah, the getting diagnosed and going through that whole journey, like that did way more for me in terms of like self-actualization.
And I would assume that also makes you a better artist, because now you're like, you can use it as a strength instead of pushing it away or ignoring it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, looking back at our last album now, I see it very much as, in terms of the lyrics I wrote anyway, and what some of the songs are about, it was very much a case of I was floundering. I was, I mean, the first album is just four people getting together and going, yeah, we love riffs. And then the second album was a lot more like internal and kind of, it was all psychological, and like it was a very unwelcoming album because I felt very unwelcome in the world. It was very kind of get the hell away from me kind of thing. And looking back now, it makes so much sense, because at that period when we were writing and recording that album, I was kind of at my wit's end. Like this was like right before going on that assessment journey and all that. So all the lyrics and stuff, it's very like, I feel this way, I don't know why, I hate this, like I don't understand what's going on. And yeah, it was just very kind of impenetrable. It was a very impenetrable album. And this time around, it's like, okay, I know who I am now. I know what my deal is. I know how to take care of myself more. Like, I know what kind of accommodations I need. I have people around me that understand me now. Like, I mean, bless my bandmates. Like, they often didn't know how to kind of help me back in the day, back before all this stuff happened. And I didn't know how to help myself because none of us knew what was going on. And now that we all do, it's just a lot more positive. Everything is a lot more kind of, there's a lot more empathy. There's a lot more, I guess, confidence. Like, I feel so much more confident in myself as a musician and an artist. The band altogether feels so much more confident. It's been a huge thing. And I feel even more excited about being in a band and writing and recording material and playing it to people now that it's kind of like, I feel like I've kind of come out of my shell now, and it's just like, here I am. Like, it just, yeah.
It's kind of like when you become a butterfly.
Yeah. Genuinely, yeah.
Right? And I think it's way cool that your bandmates, like, nothing has changed except for the better, because you never know how people are going to react, you know? So it just goes to show that you guys picked the right bandmates together to be together, because now you're just an even stronger force.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I love those guys so much. Like, they're not just bandmates to me, they're my best friends, and they've been with me throughout this whole journey. And I'm often surprised at how kind of understanding and empathetic they are, because so often, like, you feel like the odd one out. Like, those guys are so normal, like painfully normal. and I do sometimes feel like I'm the odd one out. But then I've spoken to Brady at times, and he says he feels like the odd one out. He feels like us three, like me, Connor, and Noah, we have this special bond that he's not a part of. And it's just like, no, dude, like, as soon as you're gone, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah, it's kind
of how it always is too, right? Everybody, nobody really says anything, but a lot of people really think like they're the odd man out, and it's good to have these conversations because then you find out you're not.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They've been so sweet and so supportive and so understanding, and like none of it's ever needed to be a big deal. Like there's been times where, I mean, when I realized, okay, I think I can start calling myself autistic, even though I hadn't had the diagnosis yet, I wrote out this big document and I sat everyone down and I talked about like this whole journey that I was going on. And it's one of those things where they're kind of like, yeah, we figured.
I love it.
And like they may not have known, okay, you are autistic with ADHD traits. They may have not known the specifics, but they knew that there was something different about me and that I behave in these ways. And it's kind of confusing for them at times. But like, as Brady said, he said to me the other day, like it took me realizing who I was and, you know, what my deal was for everyone else to understand fully. And so now, like, I find myself being kind of surprised when, you know, they'll be able to sense that something's going on with me, and they'll jump in and they'll help me out with something. And I'm sometimes in awe of it, because I've been so used to, for the first like 30 years of my life, feeling the way I'm feeling and reacting to things the way I react to them, and people just being like, why are you so weird? Why are you being like that? You just get on with it, like deal with it, sort of thing. But now it's like they understand and they're on top of it. Sometimes more so than me. Like they'll be able to tell when something's happening with me. Like if I'm starting to stress out or have a meltdown or something, like they'll jump on it and they'll ask if I'm okay. They will do what needs to be done to make me comfortable. And like, it feels so strange. Like it's lovely. Of course it's lovely. Like, and I'm super appreciative of it, but it's so kind of weird now that everything's flipped on its head. Now people aren't being judgy, and they're not misinterpreting me or misunderstanding me. They're like, they want to understand, and it's wonderful. Like it's really, really nice.
Because that's when you find out who your real people are, basically. You know, and there's when people find out more about themselves and maybe, you know, do things differently because now they're more aware. Sometimes the people that are in your life, they don't want you to change. It's kind of like the fans of a band that's a garage band, and the band gets big, and then it's like, oh, like I did it. I was at Metallica's first show ever, and then when the Black Album came out, me and the 25 of us that used to go see them at the club were like, posers, sellouts, blah, 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 bullshit. And that's what happens sometimes. Like you want to hold on to that, you know, that nostalgia or whatever you want to call it. But I bet it's actually also easier on your bandmates now, because now they know how to handle it. Whereas before they wouldn't, because you didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, I really hope things are easier for them. Like it would break my heart if it was the opposite and things were more difficult now, but I don't think it is. Like I'm not very confident.
Totally easier.
Yeah, like I'm not confident in many things, but I am confident that the band has gotten better, and that's not to be like, oh, because of me, but like I think that it's just easier for them to understand. I get the feeling they don't get stressed out as much. Like
right.
There are times when I need to just kind of disappear, and I can imagine, you know, back in the day, it's just like, what the hell's up with Dan? Like, where have they gone? Sort of thing.
Right.
But now it's like, I have the confidence and the vocabulary to say, this is happening right now. I just need to go and do this. I just need some time for myself. And they're like, yeah, cool. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I think it has gotten a lot easier. There may still be things that they may not understand, because I mean, we have completely different brains, you know,
right.
Completely different brain chemistry, but that's the same with anyone.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, I don't think you ever really completely understand anybody out there, because you don't also see, I always talk about, it's like most people don't know the you inside your head. They know the you that you show the world, or in certain things. Like even as a musician, like your fans, they may not know you. They know you as the artist.
Yeah, and it's with this album, really, like the reason it's so kind of we wear our hearts on our sleeves, like people know our kind of political leanings and just our views on the world around us. Like the reason we want to do that is because it's like that in this world there's no point in kind of cowering away and just kind of sheltering yourself. And it's kind of what the last album felt like. It was kind of, yes, it was talking about all these things that have happened to us and blah, 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 but it was in more of a state of confusion. It was a state of frustration. Whereas even those songs on this album, they are frustrated with the world around us. It's not all internal. It's not all kind of beating yourself up and being like, why am I like this? It's kind of, oh, I know who I am now. This world sucks. Like, and it's not to, completely point the finger at everything else as if like we're completely, we're golden or anything like that. But it is the systems that this world upholds and the views that this world upholds and the awful things that are going on and are being kind of just accepted. Like no one's stopping these things. It's just like there's so often people feel like there's nothing they can do, and to a big degree that's true. But that's why singing about these things and screaming from the rooftops about these things is so important. It's just like this album feels very much like a planting our flag. Like this is who we are. This is where we stand. Whereas before it was like I think we were still trying to figure ourselves out. Like we did not expect to get to the level that we're at all. We thought we would record one album and that some of our friends would like it and that would be that. And it's just kept going and going and going. And I see why people call the second album the difficult album, because it is like, you're a band now, like keep the ball rolling. It's just like, okay, we didn't expect this.
Nice. Well, the good news is we have Unself now, and that is the prize right there, coming out October 24th via Nuclear Blast Records. And tell everybody how they can reach out to you guys on socials, on the web, and check out everything, your tour dates. I know you got some tour dates coming up, so give them all that info.
Yes, so we're on all the social media platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever. Oh, God, I never want to call it X. I don't want to give it.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, man.
But you can order the album through our website. You can order it through Nuclear Blast Records, our Bandcamp, all that kind of stuff. And then, we've got a tour. I believe it starts October 28th. It's only Europe and the UK. Unfortunately, we haven't got anything in the US just yet, but we're working on it.
Nice. Well, we look forward to it, and we look forward to this album drop, because I'm here to tell all the listeners it is badass. It's really great musicianship, and it's really great to escape the world in it. Like, because that's why I feel music should be like, and that's why I said the Pink Floyd thing right in the beginning, because you listen to something like Dark Side, you just get lost in it, and all the world's issues you're not even thinking about because you're lost in. And that's the feeling I got with this. So love it. And thanks for making us great music now, that you are enlightened and have so much more to give us. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Awesome. My pleasure, man. This has been great.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.